Hey busy mamas, welcome back to my channel. It's April here with some more tips and tricks to staying your best self as you enter the 40 plus, 50 plus genre and era of your life. And today I'm going to be talking about mental tricks to keep you on your new glow up, to keep you going into your new lifestyle, and to rebrand yourself basically in your newer era of life. So the first thing I want to touch base on is you have to ask yourself the brutal questions. When you want to make a change in your life, like a big drastic, like I said, reinvention, rebrand, you want to step back and write down, what about you do you really want to improve? And you have to be brutally honest. You have to get a piece of paper and a pencil and write down everything that you don't like about yourself, your life, your lifestyle, and everything that you see your life being, what you really want to be, how you see your future, how you see your future self, your future body. The glow up is a whole collective. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna just change my diet and lose 10 pounds and my life is gonna be what I want. Everybody has had weight loss or weight gain in life. That doesn't necessarily change everything. And it's not the root cause of your weight gain, or maybe you're underweight in the first place. That's not the issue. The issue is that your holistic life is not together. Like the whole package is not there. So what you want to do is get very clear on what you want to change and improve and where you see yourself in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, because we only get 10-year increments in this life. So it's crucial to know where we're going. And you know, if you're not ready for it, then you're going to have to backtrack and, you know, you're going to lose all that time. So we want to avoid that and take it from someone who knows, from someone who's already in it themselves, trying to catch up for lost time. It is something that you really have to get a plan and stick to that plan. And you cannot, it's hard because whatever things you goofed off on when you were young, you now have to start over again. And you have to refresh your way of looking at things. And again, like I said in my other glow up videos, you have to reprogram your thoughts about who you are, who you want to be, what everybody told you were supposed to be. You got to reprogram your mind. So that's where it all begins. And once you get clear on who you want to be, you know, how you see yourself, then you have to set a plan in action. So the second thing is to get very focused. Very, when I say very focused, I'm highlighting focus. Like you have to get clear on how you're going to get there. And that's why you start with a list of who you are now and who you want to be. That's part of the clarity, but then it's like executing that. So once you get to the point where you're focused and you're ready to execute the new you, to rebrand yourself, to reset yourself, and to glow up into this future person that you see yourself to be. And it's never too late, by the way. I want to implant that it's never too late to become a better version of who you are. So don't think that just because you're of a certain age or because you have, you know, X amount of things to deal with, you know, debts, whatever, like relationships, children, etc., you can always become a better version throughout your life. You can always be improving and adjusting and changing your mind about who you want to be. It's okay. It's okay to experiment a little bit as long as you are, you know, still doing your priorities and taking care of those things as well. You can also reinvent yourself. So in the process. So another thing you want to do is stay consistent. Consistency is the key. Focus, consistency, having a plan. And so how I started when I just really was getting sick of working out and, you know, starting like having a plan, but then, you know, changing up the plan is, again, writing everything down. But the main thing is you want to just start. I think a lot of people write the plan and then they don't start. So you want to start. That's the beginning point. You know, really, you first have to get clear, then you have to start and execute. So going back to the focus is really important. Once you get that clear, you're going into your plan. So with me, with exercise, I just kind of would start stretching. I didn't really want to, I quit for a while. I went to the gym a lot, like every 6 o'clock in the morning, all of 2019, I was up at the gym at like, sometimes ridiculous hours, like 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. I went to 24-hour fitness. So it was open, all around the clock. And actually, no, I'm sorry, it was Crunch, but they open really early. They open at like, I don't know, ridiculous early morning hours and for people who have to work. And that works for people who have to work, but I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't have to work. So I was just really into it. I was really into getting fit in that way with weight training at the time. And this was before COVID and all of that happened. So I was getting up at like the crack of dawn, going to the gym and really putting in the grind. And I did see results, but you don't have to do it like that. You can start off, it was just, for me, it was like passionate. I was passionate about lifting weights. It became something that I became passionate about. So that's another thing I want to implant too and put into this video, is that being passionate about it is something that develops when you start seeing results. It's something that comes to you. You might not start off being passionate about exercise. A lot of people hate exercising. I've never been that person, but I've met people that just don't even want to move. Like they literally would rather, sit in front of their computer all day. They don't even want to go outside and go for a walk. Like they just don't like to move. So for the women and moms that are out there like that, they're not into like working out. They're more sedentary type people, and that's okay too. You can be that. But with that, you want to still move. I mean, it's just part of being a healthy person is moving your body. I mean, you don't have to be, a phenom. You don't have to be like an Instagram influencer. You don't have to have ripped abs and all this other stuff. You can be a normal woman who doesn't really, she's just not into that. You can be that, and you can, start with stretching in the morning and just do something. Because what happens, I found out, when you do one thing and you make that a daily habit and you're just doing that one thing over and over and over again, you get a little like, okay, well, I've been consistent with this. What else can I add on? And then gradually you're adding on another thing and another thing, and you're presenting yourself with more challenges because you're feeling a little bit better. You're looking a little bit better. People are saying, hey, you look a lot better. What have you been doing? You look, years younger. What have you been doing? You might just be doing what I've been showing you on my shorts, like face exercises, right? And all of a sudden you notice your face is looking slimmer. And you're like, what? I didn't even buy a new facial cream. I didn't spend millions on skincare and plastic surgery. And this stuff, excuse my language, is actually working. So, you got to start small and work your way up. It's micro habits day to day. Like I said in another video, it's micro habits daily that change your whole life in the future. So, and that goes with everything that we do. So what you want to do is start with stretching, start with face yoga, start with, one of my wall Pilates workouts in the shorts. And they're really short. Like literally you don't have to do them more than one time around if you don't want to. Although results are better if you do them more than once. But you don't have to knock yourself out the first time. These are just things to ignite something in you. And that's what I had to do as a stay-at-home mom for several years. And I wasn't going to a gym. I didn't have an outlet. I had no outlet before, until my kids got a little older and I was able to go to the gym for a while in 2019. But before then, I was at home, like completely at home. Every now and then I escaped to our little apartment gym, but I wasn't getting out. Even walks with the kids were, it wasn't really my chance to like really work out and get fit, So I had to, make things for myself, make up stuff. And I had to push myself even when there was like time frames in my life where I couldn't work out. I couldn't go off and do my own thing. I had to reignite something in myself later when I have that opportunity to do that. So this is how life is. It's like this, and so you have to find those moments where you can ignite something in yourself. And by doing these little habits every day, it pushes you to ignite something bigger for the long run, And that's what I really, really recommend. I swear it works. Like just doing one little thing, and then it just sets something off inside of you, and it pushes that. I've seen people who hate exercise do this. Like they literally hate the idea of all of what I talk about, and then they just do one little micro habit, and all of a sudden, and a few months down the road, they've completely done a 160-degree turn. They've literally like changed their life and how they see their life, and how they see themselves in their own life. They're literally like, oh my gosh, I'm going to the gym like 2, 3, 4 times a week now, or I'm working out every day of the week now. And all of a sudden, and I'm eating cleaner, and I'm eating more plants and fruits and vegetables, and I'm drinking more water, and I cut down on my caffeine. Next thing you know, it goes from one thing to one, because people start seeing the changes. They start feeling the changes and the results. And that's why it's so important for you to just start. Like, that is the key to everything in life. Just start. I think, again, that's why people get caught up, because they're afraid to just start. They think that it's not going to lead anywhere, or they're afraid of failure, etc. So just start, stay focused. And the last thing is, you got to keep going. So even, some people get happy. They see a few results, they see some changes, and they go, okay, I got this. Like, I'm where I want to be. I'm good enough. I'm not trying to be like this super athletic person. I'm just trying to be me, but a little bit better. And so they're not pushing themselves still outside of their comfort zone. They're resting on, this is good enough. This is good enough. Why not keep going to see where you can go? Once you get to the point where you're even starting, keep going. Keep doing the things. So you're seeing the results. Why would you stop? Why would you stop? When you start seeing results, that's when you keep on going. So you can see more and more and more, and become this person that you never thought in a million years you could reinvent yourself to be. So I think that it's crucial that we don't rest in a comfort of being good enough. And I know some people, that's all they care about, but I think it's really important we only have this one life, and we want to be the best that we're meant to be in this one life. And if you cut yourself off when you're seeing results and things are getting better for you, because you make some arbitrary goal deadline, it's not going to show you who you're really meant to be, like the full overall thing. And I'm not just talking about fitness. I'm talking about micro habits with your finances, micro habits with, your relationships. All these things add up to you having a more holistic and complete life that's better for you in the long run, and is a better version of you. And then the other thing is, you can look back in like a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road, and you're like, wow, I thought I was really okay then, but look where I am now, because I put in this time, and it really wasn't that big of a deal. I just made it a big deal in my mind. I built it up to be something that was going to be too hard, and actually it made my life easier. It made my life better. I always like to say, the reason that I don't gain weight and I don't go off a good diet, clean eating, a fitness plan that I'm on that I like at the time, being more plant-based, the reason I don't really switch it up that much is because I'm literally not motivated enough as a person to want to have to lose 10, 20, 50 pounds. I've never been 50 pounds, but I'm just saying, like, say I just completely said, screw it, I'm not going to do anything, and ate all the worst food out there and gained tons of weight. I'm just saying, like, I would never want to have to deal with all that, number one. So what motivates me every day to get out of bed and be my best self is that I don't want to go further back to where I once was, or even further back to places I've never been and have to reinvent myself from that point, because I don't feel like those are things that I need to go through again. And I also just know that I have it under control. I know who I am. I know where I want to go. And so for me, staying my healthiest and fittest self not only makes me feel better and more productive and more healthy and more well-rounded as a person, but it also is just something where I don't have the motivation to have to lose weight and start all over again. So you can reverse engineer your mind, like, shit, I don't want to go back to having to, lose weight. I don't ever want to be back there again. So why don't I just stay on this path of being healthy? Because I feel better and I look better. Why revert backwards, And don't let anything make you go there. Don't let a breakup, a bad relationship, other struggles in life that can throw us off our game. Don't let that be the determining factor to, messing up all your hard work, because it is hard work to implement daily habits that can initiate a new you in the future. It is, because it's scary, because we worry about that. That's why we don't start. We don't start because we think, something's gonna come along and screw it all up. But there's always gonna be something, and there's never a good time to start. There's never a good time to start changing your life. You just have to get in, dig deep, get in the dirt, and go through the ugly and go through the pain, because there is gonna be some pain and discomfort to it. It's not gonna be comfortable at first. It's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be like, why did I have to start this? Now I have to like be committed and quit. Yes, that's part of the journey. That's part of leveling up and becoming your best self. You got to go through the pain of doing it. And most people avoid pain, so they don't want to do that. It's too much. And I get it. But if you want to get to where you want to get and bridge that gap, you got to go through the pain. You have to feel the pain. So you got to start somewhere. You can't let other things deter you, and you can't let your own fears about failure stop you as well. You have to power through all of that. That's the level up. That's the game of life. And we all have those feelings. We all battle with it. And when we decide to change, we all go through that pain. It is painful. It is painful sometimes. When I'm fasting for 6, 7, 8 hours daily, and I want to eat at like 1, but it's only like 11 a.m. and I'm like literally starving already. I go through pain. It's not comfortable. But when I'm going through the pain, I'm thinking, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be in, a month from now, 2 months from now? Our changes can literally start happening for us right away. We have this perception that, in a year from now or 2 years or when my life is like this, I'll do this and things will get better. No, it will always be an excuse if you do that. There'll always be a reason why you're not changing, my kids aren't old enough yet, so I can't start. Or you can't keep doing that. You can't keep doing that. And I'm specifically talking to mamas, because we are like masters at deflecting, changing, going in a different direction, using a bunch of excuses as to why we can't do something. As we're strong, independent women, whether we have a partner or not, we're strong females. We had children, we gave birth. We can do anything. So that's what you got to remember. We can do anything. We just have to believe that we are ready and that we can, and that nothing can stop us, not even ourselves. So keep going, get started, stay focused, stay consistent, and micro habit the hell out of your life. You will become the person that you want to be. I'm still on this journey too. I am nowhere near where I want to be, but I am working every day to be the person that I see myself being in the not so distant future. And you should be doing the same thing, because this life is a journey. We need to go on it. God wanted us. I hate to get, if you're not religious, I'm sorry, but I believe in God. God brought us here to thrive and to become I hate to sound so cliche, but become our best selves, and if we're not doing that, we're not living our lives to the fullest. You can still care about others and, take care of yourself as well. It's not being selfish. It's being like self-preserving. You have to be able to preserve self, or you can't take care of other people the way you want to. And you're not going to be happy. Your children are going to grow up and they're going to leave and they're going to have a life of their own. And then you're going to be with you and you only. Remember that. And partners, hopefully you're not in and out of relationships, or you're not in a marriage that's not doing well, and you're not facing divorce, or if you divorce, you're alone. But even if you are, at the end of the day, no matter what happens with the relationship, whether you have a great relationship or terrible or somewhere in between, you still got to face you. No matter what situation you're in, there's still you at the end of the day. At the end of the day, we're alone with ourselves. And so you've got to stay in that zone of knowing that you have to take care of yourself. Self-preservation is key. It is not selfishness. If you're not coming off with an error, if you're not being a certain kind of way, that is not, conceited or self-involved. It is just you taking care of you. So know the difference. And don't feel bad or guilt over that, taking care of yourself. Moms have a biggest issue too with feeling guilty for taking care of themselves, which is absolutely not okay. You need to be able to take care of yourself comfortably without feeling guilt or shame or any of that stuff, because that is only going to make you a better mother, make you a more present mother when you're with your children and everybody else, relationship wise also. So be present, be there with yourself too. And that's all I really wanted to say on this post today. I hope this helps you with some mental tricks to kind of get you kick-started into gear with resetting your life, resetting the best version of yourself that you want to be. We're all in a works in progress. So don't feel like you have to be like somebody else or be there before somebody else and be in competition with people. It's all about your own journey and your own competition with yourself at the end of the day. That is the most important thing, is how do you feel about you? You don't answer to anybody but you and God. So you need to know who you are down deep and where you want to be and who you want to become. Nobody can do that for you. So I hope that this resonates with you. And if you really like my content today, I would love to bring you more. I would love to keep getting better myself. I just got back into vlogging after being out of it for years. And so sometimes I'm at a learning curve with things and I'm trying things. And I just love doing this. And it's something that's really, I love sharing information. I love helping people. And so if this really resonates with you, again, remember to like, sub, share, comment, all that good stuff. Hit that bell notification so you can get my next post on time and all that good stuff. Also, support the channel by checking out my link in bio for my merchandise. That really just helps me be able to do this more full time and bring more awesome content, hopefully bring more workouts, which we love, and just help us all evolve together, because that's what this life is about. So remember to subscribe. And again, don't let anything get in your way. Don't ever. Believe in yourself. Know that you have what it takes. And we can be anything we want in this life. So God bless, and I will see you on my next post.